government isn't your friend. They make your money worth less. A hidden tax that quietly drains your purchasing power. $5 billion in new debt every single day. If you're still waiting for the government, stop. Welcome to the channel or welcome back to the channel. Either way, if this is the first video or the most recent video you're watching of mine, you guys are in for a treat. If you're still waiting for the government to fix your financial situation, stop. Listen, the truth is the government isn't your friend. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how the system is designed to keep you dependent and, more importantly, how you can finally take back control. So we're going to be diving into how U.S. policies, taxes, and inflation quietly rob working Americans, and why our schools never taught us the truth or really anything at all about money. But I promise, this isn't some doom and gloom. By the end, you'll understand how to reclaim control using the same strategies the ultra wealthy and banks use to build real, lasting generational wealth. So let's start with a simple reality check. In 2008, when reckless financial institutions crashed the economy, the government rushed to bail out who? Wall Street. Not us millions of Americans who had lost homes and jobs, but Wall Street. You see, the banks got $700 billion in taxpayer-funded lifelines. Ordinary families, on the other hand, they got foreclosures and broken promises. Fast forward to today, our national debt is over $37 trillion and climbing, like really fast. The U.S. government spends more than it earns every year, nearly $2 trillion in deficit spending annually. You guys, that's roughly $5 billion in new debt every single day. And how do they pay for it? Oh, just by printing more money, which is just a fancy way of saying that they make your money worth less. You see, inflation isn't an accident. It's a hidden tax that quietly drains your purchasing power. Here's a quick example. The dollar has lost 96% of its value since the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. What used to cost $1 now costs 25. That's not progress, that's theft through inflation. Let's talk about financial education in the schooling system, or lack thereof. Ask yourself, why didn't we learn how credit cards work, how banks profit, or how to build generational wealth at any point during our, at minimum, 12-year stint of education? I'm supposed to believe that learning trigonometry and memorizing a periodic table is more important than learning how to file my taxes or save up to buy a home. It's wild. The real problem is that's not a mistake. It's a system designed to keep people dependent. Financial literacy fuels the economy, you guys. The less that you understand about money, the easier it is to keep you working for 40 years, paying interest, and handing your savings over to Wall Street. Get this, as recently as 2022, fewer than half of the US states required personal finance classes. Less than half. Only 1 in 4 high schoolers graduated with even a basic understanding of financial literacy. So, if that's the case, what happens then? Well, people graduate, they get into debt, save a little in a 401k, and hope the system takes care of them at the end. But that system is built to benefit the few. Those few, unfortunately, don't happen to be you. Now, if you're enjoying this video, or it's at least making sense, be sure to smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe as well, and don't forget to leave a comment below. All right, so you might be asking yourself, who is this hidden hand controlling my wallet? That, my friends, is a really good question. You might know them as the Federal Reserve, the most misunderstood institution in America. Here's a quick spoiler alert. It's not federal, and it has no reserves. A quick quote G. Edward Griffin said in his famous book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, is, The Federal Reserve is no more federal than Federal Express. If you don't know, that's FedEx. So you're probably wondering, what is the Federal Reserve? Well, it's a private banking cartel created in 1913 that controls the money supply. When the government needs money, they sell bonds, and the Fed buys them with money it creates, poof, right out of thin air. It's like magic, but not as fun. Every time that happens, the dollars in your bank account begin to lose value. That's the silent tax most people never see. The rich don't feel it because their assets rise with inflation. But the middle class, their savings erode while wages lag far behind. You see, since 2020, the Fed created trillions in new money under what they call quantitative easing. That's a fancy phrase for pumping liquidity into the system, but you and I feel it as $5 eggs and $7 gas. So here's the problem. The wealthy don't play the same financial game as the middle class. And that's by design, you guys. They don't rely on 401ks or savings accounts at the bank. They use systems that give them control, liquidity, and tax advantages. One of those tools being properly structured whole life insurance. As much as you don't want to believe it or think I'm just trying to make a quick commission off of you, at the end of the day, the truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. For example, here's a fun fact most people don't know. Banks own billions of dollars in cash value life insurance. It's called BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. Just look it up. It makes up as much as 25% of some banks' Tier 1 capital. That's the best of the best, the most trusted and time-tested capital that they can own. Now, I think this is funny because financial advisors will sit here and tell you to buy term and invest the rest, all while banks, the most profitable entities on the planet, are quietly putting money into guaranteed dividend-paying whole life insurance policies. Why? Because those policies earn steady, tax-deferred growth that can be used as collateral and are guaranteed to not only never lose value, but to increase in value every single day. This is the foundation of the infinite banking concept, using a properly structured whole life policy to become your own source of financing. You see, what happens is you borrow against your cash value to fund these opportunities. Let's say cars, businesses, real estate, you name it. All while your money keeps growing as if it was never touched in the first place. When implemented correctly, this allows you to live like a bank instead of depending on one. Luckily for us, we live in a free country, which means there's some good news. You can essentially unrig your system for yourself by understanding how money actually works and building your own family banking system. By doing that, you can store money in a policy that grows uninterrupted, provides liquidity, and offers tax advantages that predate that 1913 tax code we were talking about. You see, this isn't about hating the government. It's about no longer depending on it. Because trust me, nobody cares about your financial future more than you do. With that said, I believe it's time to educate yourself. Start reading Become Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. It's 92 pages long with like 60 pages of actual reading. So believe me, I know you can do it. Another smart move would be to study how banks and wealthy families like the Rockefellers structured their wealth and begin to model that. Your goal should be to build liquidity, build control, and build your own private banking system. Because when you do, you stop being a victim of inflation, taxation, and manipulation, and instead, you crack open an infinite realm of financial possibilities. Listen, you guys, the government is not your friend, but it doesn't have to be your enemy either, if you learn to play the game a bit differently. Think about it like this. You have a choice. Take the blue pill and go right back to being completely blind to everything that's going on around you in your financial life. Or take the red pill and step into a whole new world of financial freedom and control. Like I said before, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. And remember, you guys, the information is free, but the knowledge is priceless.